Welcome back, Shalloners. Well, today you guys voted. We're going to talk about Harry Styles. We're going to break down a few different things. We're going to talk about his sexuality. And more importantly, we're going to talk about how to get the guy that everyone wants. How do you stand out to the most popular dude? Whether he's artsy, whether he's fratty, everything in between. I'll tell you, because I've got a little bit of experience in this category, especially with Harry. But just want to remind you that first, if you have a love question or want to talk with me one-on-one privately, find me on my website, shallonlester.com, and click Get Help to submit a question right away. And follow me on my Instagram at ShallonXO, where, like I said, I let you guys vote on the next video topic. We whittle it down with the bracket. And listen to my new podcast, Girl on Top, out every Wednesday, every place podcasts are found. So Harry just dropped his new video for Lights Up, and it had like 3 million views in 12 hours. Oh God, imagine. We'll get there someday, Shallon. We'll get there someday. But the video is like very like sexy and like writhy. So the video is actually a little bit repetitive. I kind of wish the plot like moved along for like 4 minutes. It's just like shirtless people sort of like vaguely grinding on each other. Like, let's get some Frenching. Wide open mouths, tongues in mouths. Let's do this. Maybe some light finger blasting. I don't know. I'm not a director. I'm just spitballing here. I could be the creative director though. Okay, if you need me, I'm available. And it's not just like Harry like grinding on girls and it's like very sensual. There's boys up in the mix. There's like beards and everything. And for years and years and years and years and years and years, there has been speculation that Harry is not exactly straight as an arrow. There's a ton of like alleged evidence that him and Louis Tomlinson were a thing. Don't think I haven't read all the fan fiction. Oh, I hate myself. I totally have. And like seeing like the compilation videos of their like adorable looks to each other. Maybe they had a thing. I have no idea. But I have heard that Harry is bisexual, like definitely bisexual. But hold on, we'll get to that. Let's talk about the straight part of Harry, right? Because he has dated chicks. He's dated Caroline Flack. She's a British person, celebrity, TV presenter, something like that. But she was a lot older. And he usually does go for older chicks. And I'm like, that's interesting to me. And it's almost evidence that he might have like, yeah, that he might be bisexual. Because hear me out. When you're not really sure of who you are and your identity is shape-shifting, it's very anchoring and it's very comforting to be around somebody who does know who they are, right? Someone who has gone through their own identity development and grown into a person. And that is often people who are older. And I mean, you guys know I date younger dudes all the time. And I think that's a reason they like me is because I am so well defined and I know who I am and I like who I am, and the parts I don't like, I'm working to fix, and I know what my goals are. Like, I'm a bad bitch, you guys, you know. And guys are really magnetized by that. I'm an alpha female, and people who want to become an alpha are magnetized to that. My friends are all alpha females. My gay guy friends are all alpha males. And the boys that I date are like alphas in development. Oh, my earring just fell out. Is there anything more annoying? Like, you're literally just sitting there and you're like, fuck you, I'm making a run for it. All right, fine. You know what? We'll go both. So it's interesting because, you know, I talk about hurt lockers, right? And a hurt locker, if you're new to this channel, is the name that I give to people who we like imprint on, that we're like, I can't get over him. It's usually people we haven't even dated or like briefly dated. And we fixate on them so much. And one thing I talk about with hurt lockers is it's not necessarily someone you like loved and wanted to date. It's someone you admired. And that's interesting because we know how to interpret that like female to female dynamics. Like, I admire her. I have a girl crush. Sometimes it skews the other way. I'm obsessed with her. Fuck you. I hate her. It's an inappropriate fixation. But with guys, it manifests as we love them. We don't know how else to interpret that emotion. And that works in reverse for boys as well. We can be their hurt lockers. And I've been a hurt locker for several boys, and they're all younger, always younger, because they saw how defined I am. And that really like imprinted on them. So I think it's interesting that Harry kind of gravitates towards older women. He also dated some models. It's so funny. Some of you guys were like, talk about why celebrities date models. And it is interesting because I had a guy say this to me, and the guy who said it, he was this like Serbian dude. He was like the most male man on planet Earth. He was just like a pure vibrating rod of testosterone. And he's like, you know, this accent, he like walked like a hitman. He looked like Jason Statham. He's like, models are like, they're nice to have on your arm. It's like a bragging thing, but sexually, it's not really what you want. You know, you want to go with a little bit more meat on her bones, who's like chill, who's not like constantly thinking about her looks because that's her job. So I do think it's weird that he and celebrities date models. It's a status thing. But maybe Harry just plain old fell in love with these people. They connected on a real level. And I say that he's not just a modelizer doing it for the clout, because Harry is low key. And that's why I believe that he is truly bisexual, because he's quiet about it. But like I said, we'll get there in a sec. So what do I know about Harry Styles? I also think Harry is bisexual and that he likes women even a little bit, because I've had my own little interlude with Harry Styles. It was very brief. My friend was on Saturday Night Live for many years, and I would go like to the show with her, and One Direction was performing one time, and like the whole underground, like the backstage, it's like this labyrinthine like network, and they were walking one way and me and her were walking the other way, and Harry, like, he just looked at me, he's like, "You're gorgeous." And I was like, "Yeah." And he like pushed me up against the wall, and it was like this drive-by makeout. It was like 30 seconds of snogging. And his friend's like, "Mate, oi, come on, Harry." And my friend was up there and she's like, were you making out with Harry Styles? And I was like, I might have just hallucinated. Did I hallucinate that? Did that happen? She's like, "Yes." "What?" And I'm like, "I don't know." And she's like, "Come on, I'm back to the dressing room." So it was like very brief. But I bring that up because that's why we're going to talk about how to get the guy that everyone wants, right? But first, let's keep talking about the bisexuality. So yeah, I think Harry is like truly bi because he's chill about it. Now, let's think about someone who's on the flip side of this, right? Nico Tortorella. Do you know him? He's on Younger. He is a smoke show. He's the hottest boy. Like, he is so beautiful. And he will not shut the fuck up about how he's like gender fluid, sexually fluid. "I'm queer. I'm this. I feel like I have a vagina, but I have a penis," and blah, blah. It's just like, that's all he can talk about. That's all he can talk about. He doesn't talk about the show. He doesn't have like a side project. He only talks about where he puts his penis. And that's kind of sad to me. And his wife, oh my God. She's like, "Me too. I'm gender fluid too." Girl, you know what you are? You're half as attractive as he is. And so I feel like you're just kind of going along with whatever. I mean, she's cute, but he is just like stratosphere hot, you know? And if a guy that hot was like, "I'm gender queer," I'd be like, "Yeah, me too. That's totally what I am." I say that all the time to everyone, all the time. Like, I would be whatever you want me to be. But Nico is like, he's kind of an eye roll because it's like, let's break this down. Not only are you a white man in America, right? You're already at the top of the food chain. Imagine being that hot, and you've probably been that hot your entire life. Like, and when you're attractive, it's like being a celebrity because it creates a polite world. The world is polite. Everyone's nice to you, wants to talk to you. No one's rude to you. All the doors in the world open. And then add in celebrity on top of that. You're also actually a celebrity on top of that. Given all of those things, imagine you still need more attention. You need so much more attention. You have to tell everyone that you think your penis is a vagina. Like, wow. That's not a person I want to get stuck talking to at a party. Even if he does look like that. Like, bro, you are glad that you're hot. You're glad that you're hot. But it's just so like demonstrative. It's like, okay, God. Because I said before, you know, people who are very like, my whole identity is my sexuality. There's something sort of sad there because if you look at like the Russian sugar babies and all they post are like tit shots and this and that, it's like they too have boiled down their entire identity to what they do with their genitals. So you're right in the same boat. And I know neither party is just that one dimensional. So don't only come at the world with one dimension. You know what I mean? Harry doesn't do that. Harry focuses on his aesthetic, his clothes, like taking chances in that category, creating art, doing different things. Like who he fucks is very, very secondary to who he is. And that is so inspiring. It really, really is, you know, and that I think is a lesson we can all take. Like we are not defined by the people we have sex with. We're not defined by the people we date. Oh, if I don't have a boyfriend, I don't exist. Not on the Shallon truck. That's not what we do here. And Harry Styles is kind of, he's a Shalloner, you know, like he's like that. And so he's also a really good kisser. Wow. It was like passion, you know, when it's just like French. When it's, you might not want like 3 hours of like slobbery, like fake outs, but when it's just like quick and dirty like that, you're like, wow, he probably doesn't remember it. Maybe he does. I don't know. Maybe he hooks up with people backstage at SNL all the time. I hope so. Get it. But I bring that up because it ties directly in to the main point we're going to talk about here today. How to get the guy that everyone wants, right? So when I was backstage, there's always, you know, people like me, like friends of the hosts or friends of the actors and whatever. And then there's people who are like the daughters of the execs, you know, they're like little Visco girls. And they saw him. We were walking down the same hall. They were in front of me and they saw One Direction before I did. And our reactions could not have been more different. They were like, oh my God. Like dogs were exploding, like the decibel level and like the squeaky, it was like things only a dolphin could hear. So squeaky and high. I put on this face. My old producer, when I had my TV show, she's like, we watch you when you see something you want, you get this look we call predator face. And I was like, I know exactly what you mean. And I can't like do it on command necessarily, but when I see it, it's like my whole body changes. I go from like a girl to like a sleek jungle cat. And I had him and I locked eyes and it was predator face. I wasn't squealing. I wasn't like, oh, I looked at him like an equal. At best, I actually looked at him like he was prey and I was the predator. I was in control. This is daddy's house. And when he came up to me, he was like, you're gorgeous. I said, yeah. I didn't say it like a question. I said it as a statement. Yeah, I am. And that is not something celebrities and popular people, forget about celebrities. Maybe it's just like the captain of the lacrosse team. That's not something they're used to encountering. They're used to fans. And I have dated very famous guys, Stanley Cup winners, Oscar winners, Grammy winners, not because I was ever the hottest girl in the room or the biggest boobs or the richest or the thinnest or the most famous, but because I was the baddest. And was I faking that confidence? Yes, most of the time I was. Yes, but it doesn't matter because the secret to being a hot girl is simply deciding that you are one. It's true. It's the emperor's new clothes. So I walk in and I'm like, bad bitch. Like if you look at Rihanna, objectively, our queen who we stand, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Fenty, people are very like divided about whether or not she's pretty. I think she's gorgeous, but there is a lot of unconventionalness about her look. She's got a big forehead. She doesn't have this like, she has a good body, but it's not like a Kim Kardashian body where it's like the proportions are just crazy and blah, blah, blah. Like you could, there's people who are like, she doesn't do it for me, but she does do it for all of us because of her attitude. Like you get, I saw a tweet the other day that was like, Rihanna looks good today. I didn't see her. I just know. That's so true. We just can feel it because she projects it. She projects whatever she's doing. She feels it. And that's why Rihanna is our queen, right? And I project that. And that's why I'm like your personal micro queen, right? So I have been very successful with popular guys because I'm like, who the fuck are you? Come here to me. And it's just, especially guys who are popular, whether that's macro like fame or that's micro like in your small town, they're used to getting what they want. And what do you give someone who has everything? A challenge, something they can't have. Men are hunters, right? They're hardwired to hunt. They don't want to be fed. They want to go out and get it. This is in even so many songs. That Justin Bieber, Cody Simpson song. I don't work hard when it's easy. I put in work when it's hard. You know, like you make me wait, you make me work. They like it. Because then when they get something, it's a win. It's a prize. They're not just like being spoon-fed chips. Like I got her. I claimed her. I snagged her. You know, they like that feeling. And it's very, very tempting when we see the popular guy to be like, I just want to give him, like, here, let me just lay down at your feet. No. That's the wrong thing. But to put up that like resistance it feels like a bluff. It feels very scary. But you know what? Let it be a bluff. Let it be a bluff. Because a quality popular guy is going to be like, ooh, Yes. He's going to like this big dick energy that's coming off of you. He's going to be like, okay, I'm an alpha and so is she. And because I'm a true quality alpha male, because I'm a pack builder and not a pack divider like a beta is, I'm going to want a girl who is just as bad as me. I'm going to want a girl who has her own core of self-esteem, that warm-blooded animal. Because a cold-blooded animal, a girl who needs me to like validate her and blah, 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 she's going to be drama. She's going to be high maintenance. She's going to be jealous. And that's going to chip away at me and my time and my energy. And I, as an alpha, don't want to do that. I am whole and complete, and I want someone who is whole and complete. So you bluff like that. You don't run over and fawn over the guy. Oh my God, Chad, you play lacrosse. Oh my God. It's like, oh, you play lacrosse? That's cool. The attitude should be like, what are you bringing to my table? Because I know what's at my table, and it's a bunch of good stuff. What are you bringing? Your popularity? Okay, who cares? I don't care. And if a guy balks at that, if he's like, she's a bitch, she's stuck up, there you go. Self-identified douchebag fuckboy. There you go. And you got to find that out by doing nothing. Your reputation, your poise, your dignity, intact, intact. Give someone enough rope and see if they hang themselves. That's always my motto. Don't put out right away. No, if he's a fuckboy and a douche, he'll run. You know what? If that's his vibe, he was going to run anyway, girl. He's a leaver. Fuckboys are levers. And they're going to dip whether or not you have sex or don't. So don't. So don't. Quality guy's going to like that you don't put out. Because I've had guys say to me, it was a fun conversation. It's like when we hooked up the first night we met, he's like, well, do you sleep with everyone you meet the first night? And I'm like, sometimes. Like, no, but that's the message they get. And a quality guy's going to be like, oh no, because I know when I get her, she's a prize. Again, it's about chasing something and acquisition and then working for it. It's supply and demand, right? It's the way the global economy works. And the economy works like that because we inside work like that. And we forget that. Everything is modeled on the same system for a reason because that is the natural order of nature. And when we deny it, it's to our own peril. So you want the popular guy, you don't chase. And a lot of you guys message me, you're like, how do I get the attention of a celebrity? Can I slide into his DMs? Not easily, honestly. Like I have 33,000 followers on Instagram, not a ton, but I don't see 99% of your messages. Like I don't even see them. I get like 2,000 DMs a week. Like I don't even look. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. That's why I have a website. You can contact me. And then we can talk, but like I don't do it on Insta, you know? I can't even read all the comments here. I get like 1,000 comments on each video. And I'm like, nobody. You know what I mean? So if you're Chris Evans, Henry Cavill, for some reason, that's like those are like the two dudes you guys are like desperate to DM slide. I mean, I get it. They're hot. They're pretty hot. Chris Evans, if you want to get his attention, you should bring some grilled cheese sandwiches. He loves a good, like cut up real thin, like in a line. And yeah, he likes grilled cheese sandwiches. Henry is whatever. So weird. I've heard he's gay. I've heard he's straight and toxic. It's like, you know what? Whatever. It sounds like a no-go. If you're straight, you're a nightmare. And if you're not straight, then it's kind of a dead end for me. But if you do want to get a celebrity's attention online, you have to, again, take a different route. Because you have to think about what everyone else is doing. Titty shots, slutty pics, hey, daddy, I'll suck your dick, whatever, whatever. You got to go the opposite route. You have to appeal to their shadow self. And this is true with non-celebrities, you know? And I've talked about shadow selves before. The shadow self is the part of you that other people don't see that you wish they would. My shadow self is that, and because I had a boyfriend say this one time, he was describing me like to his mom. He's like, Shallon has such a good heart. And I was like, what'd you say? I didn't hear. Can you say that again? And like, that is my shadow self, that I'm like very lovey-dovey. I'm very loyal. I'm very passionate, and I'm altruistic. I am also a fucking coiled viper if you cross me though. Like I exist in extremities, you know? There's not a lot of middle ground for me in my life. Like you guys see how much I love you, and when someone crosses us, you know, and it's just people, they don't get that memo. They don't get that memo until it's way, way too late. Way too late. So you're going to have to appeal to his shadow self. And you might not know what that is. It might take a little bit of studying. It might take it's nuanced, it's tiny, but mostly people's shadow selves are like the squishy emo. It's the emotional underbelly. They're family people. They're maybe nerdy and they have these nerdy interests. You know, they're artsy. Like if they're a banker, you want to appeal to like their artistic side, stuff like that, and vice versa. If they're like Mr. Artsy, you'd be like, wow, you're so business savvy. And they'll be like, what? My God, people always just thought I was this weird emo kid. It's like, no, you're like a Wall Street tycoon waiting to happen. And they're like, oh my God. Like you appeal to that. So you come at them from that angle. It's also great to ask a question. Women communicate to solve problems. Men communicate to build. Nope, I'm sorry. Scratch that. I got it wrong. Women communicate to build relationships. Men communicate to solve problems. So give a guy a problem to solve. If you're going to slide into someone's DMs, like a famous guy, ask about his workout routine. Ask about like science fair project, like stuff like that. But again, don't slide into a non-famous guy's DMs. Let them slide into yours. Actually, maybe we could raise the bar and not accept a DM slide. Maybe I don't know, conversation in real life. I cannot tell you how many questions I have gotten from girls who are like, we snap all the time. We're on a streak. He texts me, he DMs me, but he won't speak to me in person when I see him on campus or in the office. When did you decide that was all you deserve? When did you decide that? I don't think anyone else decided that for you. You decided that. And you can undecide it whenever you want. Okay? We got to raise the bar. What we permit, we promote. And we're not about permitting and promoting that bullshit anymore. No. But here's what we also got to talk about with the popular guy. Why you want them. Now, it seems obvious. It's like, well, they're hot or they're famous. Okay. Let's break down what that means to you. Because if I'm being honest, I chronically went after famous guys because I didn't feel like my life was moving at the rate it should. My biggest fear in life is feeling ordinary. That my life is ordinary, that my career is ordinary. Maybe it's because I'm an only child and I was overloved and I have this God complex. I don't know. But that is truly like my deepest fear. That and deep water. I don't like deep water at all. So when I would date someone famous or popular, I felt famous and popular by osmosis. Do you know what I mean? It's like, goes back to the Hurt Locker. It's not that you want to date them, you want to be them. You want to be them. So before you go getting all twisted over like the debate team captain, the big man on campus, whatever, the frat president, ask yourself, what does he represent? Write down on a piece of paper all of his qualities and say like, what about this resonates for what I want for myself? Because if you don't, you are going headfirst into a Hurt Locker situation. Headfirst. Because the popular guy isn't always the emotionally responsible guy. He's the guy who's gonna he's gonna bone you after like a frat social, whatever, and he's not gonna talk to you again. And you're gonna be like, and you're gonna feel not good enough, deficient. You're gonna twist yourself into a pretzel trying to be whatever he wants you to be, and you're gonna humiliate yourself and destroy your dignity in the process. And you still won't even get him. You know, like if that worked, I'd be like, well, I mean, just embarrass yourself. You'll get the guy. It doesn't. It just doesn't. It sucks. So ask yourself what this means. What do you think the popular guy is going to save you from? Because I guarantee you whatever it is, it's not true. Even when I've dated famous guys, like, more money, more problems. There's a million different issues and complexes that they have. Their schedule sucks. And it's like, hey, their schedule is law. Like, there's no like, oh, I'm going to skip the Stanley Cup playoff game to like hang out with you. Nope. I'm just going to like blow off the Grammys. Nope. They're on tour. It's in season. It's whatever it is. Like that's how that goes. And it's a very out of balance situation. And if all I get from this is feeling cool and special, I got to give that to myself. And now that like my career is going where I want it to go, by the way, projections have shaved 6 months off of my 1 million subscriber mark. The Shallontrage is growing at a rate that not even God herself can stop. And you know what? She's not going to. She's on our side. We're all the same tape. It's great. So now that that's happening, like I am bulletproof. I am fuckboy proof, right? You don't want to mess with me. So again, you want to date the popular guy? You approach it as an equal, a peer. Okay, you acknowledge why he's popular, why he's famous. That's great, I know. But you're not like, there is no fangirling. None. Go do it with your friends in the bathroom if you have to. Of course, don't do it around him. But overall, ask yourself what it is you're hoping to get out of this emotionally. What is this saving you from? I want to know your thoughts on Harry Styles. I'm going to do another video on Harry about soft boys versus fuck boys and why they're kind of one and the same. And if, like I said, if you guys have a love question, you want a one-on-one session with me, go to my website, shallonlester.com, and click Get Help to get connected. And follow me on Instagram at ShallonXO and listen to my podcast, Girl on Top, out every Wednesday.